That is a chorus, absolute certified banger. Welcome back and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Now we are finally back with more Nightwish. Last week I took some time away from filming. I still had like a bunch of other editing and work to do, but I wanted to take time away from filming, come back revitalized, re-energized and fresh. And it's finally time for another Nightwish Saturday. I'm super excited. I'm looking at a song called Wish I Had an Angel. A lot of you guys have been asking for it for a long while. And I know there are a bunch of people who are going to say, you should have done this video, you should have done that video. I know there's a bunch of different versions of the song out there. There's a live version with Floor. There's a live version with Tarja. But I wanted to look at the official music video, and here's why. I've done loads of live performances from Nightwish on my channel. Nightwish also don't do that many music videos. And sometimes it's really nice to see that finished visual product along with the studio recording on top of it. It's the way they wanted the song to sound, captured at that time. And it's exciting for me, and I want to kind of go back in time and have a sneak peek at that. So super excited. Can't wait for this one. Nightwish, Wish I Had an Angel, official video. Let's see what you got.
I wish I had an angel for one moment of love. I wish I had your angel tonight.
Whoa, hang on a second. Right back to the beginning to hear that all over again. You know how it works by now. That is a fire way to start a song. Super impactful. You could hear those kind of dual vocals, really well matched and balanced, not trying to fight each other to be a primary and a secondary. And they were pushed right to the front of the mix there. Behind that, I could hear like some nice keywork, some nice synth, and it sounded like there were two parts. The one was a bit more active and light, higher frequency, and the other was more like a drone that stayed in place for a bit longer and stepped down. And then all of a sudden, powerful kick in with the band, almost like an explosion into that steady like 4/4 groove. I love that real tight groove where you can hear like that predictable kick and snare placement. Bass just killing it, helping provide that power, that melodic power to that. And then Empu doing what he does, man. You know I'm going to say it. Shout out Palm Mute Gang. Get me those palm mutes in the chat there. But that's fire, man. That's awesome. Can't wait to hear that again.
I wish I had an angel for one moment of love. I wish I had your angel tonight. Deep into a dying day, I took a step outside an innocent heart.
Hang on a second. Two things there. Three things actually. I love how they do this. It's kind of their formula. Super powerful up front. Strip it back for the first verse. And I have no doubt that in the second verse, you're probably going to hear more active guitar. I couldn't hear Empu there. I think it's just the bass, some of the synth work, vocals, and drums. I love that bass sound. It is dirty as hell. Sometimes it's really nice to get a clean bass tone without all the imperfections. And sometimes it varies throughout even just one song. But I like that tone because it kind of feels gritty, live, raw. And to me, you know, there's certain things you can do to put effects on that, like a bit of drive, overdrive on that. But it almost to me sounds like you can hear all the imperfections of the physical instruments itself. Sometimes when you slide, you can hear those clangs in the frets. You can hear the string tap, almost hear the resonance of that body. I really like it. It's filthy. But then the other thing, I love what they're doing here with the vocals, because her vocal is super powerful, clear, crystal clear. But there was a part there where you could hear her provide just a slight backing underneath it, and it continued actually beyond where the primary vocal stops. And I want you to hear that again. Really cool. That is a chorus. Absolute certified banger. Here we go. Go back again to lead in. Man, what a talent. All of them. Great song. I definitely feel like this could be one of those kind of radio hits. Absolutely. It's super catchy. It's well written. Nice energy and pace to it. I love his vocal, man. What a talent. What a vocal. To have that kind of as the primary and have that more vocal like vowel sound in the background drifting, and then having Taria come in to kind of take over the second phrasing. Just really smart. One thing I did notice with the chorus, and I won't play the chorus again because you're going to hear more of it, is really smart connection between Thomas and Empu there, because if you want the synth to shine through, and again, I know it's a studio recording, but the same principles apply live. If you want the keys to shine through, they're obviously a higher frequency. And a lot of what the guitar work can do is also that, especially when it rings out. So he's doing a lot more palm muting. Shout out Palm Mute Can once again. But he's doing a lot of that technique to make sure that you get the tonal value, the energy, but then you can still hear that synth in the key work. It's very cool.
Angel wings to dust. I wish I had your angel tonight. I'm going down so.
Hang on a second. It sounded like there was like a bit of enhancement there on some of the kick. Sounded a bit more digital, and then there was that cool effect, that sample that played in. I mean, you can obviously do that with the keys, but it's interesting. I've not really heard that kind of Nightwish yet with like a digital sample piece. And I'm not talking about choirs and other bits like that, but more spacey. It was cool.
Dust. I wish I had your angel tonight. I'm going down so frail and crude. Drunken disguise changes all the rules. Old love stayed I heart. Old lies stayed I heart.
I'll stop there and let it go forward into the chorus. I can hear it building up there again. It felt like that verse was shorter, but definitely had the guitar work coming in earlier. It felt like they played the second half of the first verse there. I might have to go back and listen to that again, but there's a great contrast between the chorus and the verse. However, not much change in energy. Still very pacey, still very exciting. And that's sometimes difficult to do, to create that contrast, knowing that you're using the same kind of tempo. You're not half timing things. You just have these short, subtle breaks to give people just a brief moment to breathe and then straight into it again. Very cool.
I wish I had an angel for one moment of love. I wish I had your angel, your Virgin Mary undone. I'm in love with my lust, burning angel wings to dust. I wish I had your angel tonight.
Hang on a second before we go into, I'm assuming that's going to be a bridge. I'm noticing a distinct lack of fills. You know, he's a super talented drummer, but it feels like everything's purposefully really kept on the beat. Even some of those extra little kick hits that you can hear that sound a bit more like a digital kit than it does that raw kit, and that may be down to the mixing, but it's very purposeful, very deliberate, and very kind of out of their way to make sure it sticks on that beat. There's not a lot of like syncopated fills and pieces that go in there, and it's interesting because halfway through the song and they still kept that momentum with it. Definitely is pacey, super energetic. Keen to see where this goes.
Burning angel wings to dust. I wish I had your angel
Hang on a second. Lots going on here. I'm laughing because as I said that, all of a sudden they gave us just a hint of exactly what I was talking about. A little bit of syncopation, some nice little breakbeat pieces in there, couple fills. not many, but just a couple of them. And it was really interesting to have that conversation. And then all of a sudden that happens. Sometimes I want to kick myself and go, you could have just waited 10 seconds. You would have heard it yourself. But love what they're doing here. Real nice change to it. A bit more aggressive. Feels heavier here. Not just vocally, also with the instrumentation, because Empu's doing some gallops there, which is really cool. And I just love the contrast of his aggression, his like kind of grit, and then her very well pronounced operatic style. Sometimes I think it works really well. It's really beautiful, actually, even though it's quite an angry song. There are two vocals there. Exactly what I was saying about that operatic a piece. Listen to it. It sits higher than the primary, a little bit further back. That's just a volume thing usually, but much more effort on the vibrato and the clarity on it. Have a listen up for it. You'll see me move around a lot. It's just how I try and find things. Everyone's got their own way of doing that, and it's just about practicing active listening and trying to ignore things that are meant to be obvious and try and find the other bits between. So it's just a practice thing, really, if you didn't hear it. But have a listen out for that, because it's very well placed and very well done. Hang on, man. There's more of that kind of digital effort there. That drum sample that's been played, that sounds more of that kind of like house music, a little bit more dancey. It's cool, man. It's just a side of them I haven't heard yet, and they keep surprising me. And again, I know this is an older, much older song, but it's so nice to see how many weapons they have in their arsenal, should they choose to use them. And you've seen such a beautiful contrast and growth in not only the individual members, but also the band as a whole. Human Nature is a perfect example of that. And I'm so glad I did that album in the order that I did, because this band, man, Nightwish doing Nightwish things. Hang on.
I wish I
That was really cool, but I want to go back to the ending again. I've restarted the whole song, haven't I? Not a problem. We'll go right there. I like how this ends, because it just felt super aggressive. It felt like there was much more effort in the guitar work there to make it seem like it was evolving and doing something special towards the end. And I really like how it ended with that kind of like exhale almost. There was like that breathiness to the end of that where the music had already stopped. Very cool. Rad. Very, very cool. Yeah, absolutely must have been a big radio hit. Had to have been. It's just an absolute bang of a song. Right kind of length, 4 minutes, structured well, very simple structure to it, quite quite rhythmically simple, but I think those songs need to be. All the effort was in the melody and then in some of the edge and aggression. They were able to experiment a bit in the bridge while not drifting too far away from what you know that song to be by that point. And I just thought it was really smart. Again, smart writing. It was exactly what it needed to be, and that's awesome. When I was talking to people on Discord, a lot of them were saying that this was the first song they ever heard from Nightwish. I can imagine you being hooked straight away. What a song. Let me know where to go next, guys. I am looking for some guidance on where to go next with Nightwish. I'm kind of open to anything: music video, lyric video, live performance. Might be nice to get back into a live one again, but very happy to for you guys to suggest. But if you do make a recommendation, please could you put a link to the video as well, just to make sure I use the right one. Very, very, very cool, and very happy to be back with Nightwish Saturdays. Until the next one, please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.